Hi everybody, my name is Brittany Ray and today I'll be doing a community assessment on Benton, Arkansas. So some of the objectives I would like to go over today is provide a thorough community assessment of the city of Benton, describe the community characteristics, discuss the pre-C-Pro-C model that was used, and then also provide an overview of the community's health profile and look at some of the town's assets and capabilities and report any findings. So why do an assessment on Benton? Benton is just about 20 miles or so away from where I live. So it's not too far. Here in Arkansas, where I live, it's not too uncommon to have to drive about 20 miles to get to the next nearest town. After looking at that, I decided to go with Benton. And this town, it was established in 1837, and it's located within Saline County, which is west of Little Rock. So you can see the color in the red portion there, that is Benton, and the bigger white portion, that's the county. So it's a pretty large county, and the Benton does have a population of 604,000 people. And it's actually the 12th largest city in Arkansas and the largest city in the county, which they are also considered the county seat for the county. So all of your county resources and offices are going to be located in Benton. They're also described as more of like a working class population of the residents who live there. So we'll look at some demographics. So from the chart here, 85.8% of the population is white as their ethnicity. And then also we have in second, 8.8% is Black or African American, with the other races going down the line there. Benton also has a median age of 36.6 years, with females being slightly older, around 37.5, with males at 35, right at 35 years old. The ratio between the sexes are very similar to the age. So females are a little bit more representative here in Benton at 52.5%, with males who are at almost 47.5%. Educational attainment, it's pretty diverse. So you have almost 30% in purple there as high school graduates, 23.3 is some college, 18.1 is bachelor's degree. You do have associate's degree is 7.9% in red, and then graduate degree is in teal at 9.7%. 8.8% is those with a 9th through 12th grade, but in between there, that's their educational attainment. For poverty, Benton has a poverty rate of 9.6%, with males having a little bit of a higher poverty rate than females. And also, when we're looking at the county has a poverty rate of 9.6%, and the state actually has a high poverty rate of 17%, which is pretty high because the national average is 11.4% for the poverty rate. So big difference there. Employment, for the employment rate, is actually really good. It's 3.9% in Benton. They have a pretty strong labor force there, which they're pretty proud of. A lot of people do tend to work in Benton, so not too many are unemployed for the city. So through my windshield survey, I noticed a lot of different things. So the first thing I noticed was there were a lot of places for people to partake in physical activity, and a lot of different community activities. So on the far left, we have the River Center, which is, I would say, the crown jewel in Benton. They're super proud of it. It is the largest recreational facility that I've seen in a long time, but it's run by the Parks and Rec department for the city, so that's pretty interesting. A lot of the services and the activities that are offered are really low cost, which is great. And then in the middle there, you have Riverside Park. That is a pretty big park there. There's tons of baseball fields and places to walk. and that is also right next to a very large Boys and Girls Club. This is the County Boys and Girls Club, so it's pretty large. It houses most of their resources, and their activities are based out of this location. So it's actually, can't really tell from the picture, but it is ginormous. But it offers a lot of great things. And going down the road, you have Military Drive, which is pretty much every fast food restaurant you'll probably see there, and also a couple local services and things like O'Reilly's Auto Parts. In the middle, you have the Royal Theater, which is the oldest theater that the town has. It's been there since the town was put up. And then also the downtown area has things like veteran services and a couple other county resources. So I want to talk about the pre-seed-proceed model that was used to do the assessment. Majority of the components were from the pre-seed section. So phases 1 through 3, like social, epidemiological, behavioral, environmental diagnosis. A lot of data collection and research was done. So that's primarily the components that were used from that model. And then I was thinking that the proceed section would really be used best if intervention was implemented, and so that way it can evaluate any of its outcomes. So the community health profile for Benton is pretty varied. So the life expectancy for Benton is 76 years, which is actually the same for the state. It's a little bit lower than the national average, which is at 78.7 years. And then in Benton, Black or African Americans, they do tend to live about 2.7 years less than their white counterparts. So also different things to look at when doing the assessment. Also, we're looking at obesity rate. So most of these are going to be from the county. So we have obesity rate of 30%. Physical inactivity of 27%. Access to places for people to partake in physical activity is 59%. And so one thing I had found that was rather interesting is that even in neighboring counties and the state, more people said that they knew of places to go to do physical activity or leisure activities, but the higher their inactivity rates were. So I did think that was kind of interesting to look at. I was wondering why that was. And then also diabetes rate, we have the county at 9%, and that is pretty much the same as our neighboring county in Pulaski County at 9%, and the state is 13.6% for their diabetes rate. A lot of different things for mental health as well, so we're going to take a look. That was actually going to be deemed my top health priority for the city. So we're going to look at most of that information now. So Saline County, again, most of this is going to be county data. That was one of my limitations, was getting city-specific data. But it's the largest city in the county, so I thought that would be representative. So Saline County, they did say they had 4.2 poor mental health days in the past 30 days. That's what people reported. And that was a lot higher than its neighboring county and the state overall, which was at 3.9 poor mental health days. But the U.S. does have an average of 4.3 poor mental health days in the past 30 days reported. One thing was the suicide rate was 22 per 100,000, which was a lot higher than their neighboring county, which was at 16 per 100,000, and then the state was 18.3 per 100,000. So it had quite a high rate there. And then also the ratio of population per mental health provider was pretty high at 938 people per one provider. So that was quite high, more than any other county and state that I had found. So different things, community resources, Saline Memorial Hospitals or county hospital, fire department, recreation department, different parks and trails, Boys and Girls Club, like I mentioned, and lots of local businesses support the different efforts that they see. So in conclusion, they have a large working class population. Their top priority health area is mental health, and we can leverage a lot of different health opportunities. Thank you.